Property Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Eisenstadt. Today in the studio, we have Jeff and Aaron from Cabinet Sellers and National Stone. Thank you guys for taking the time to come today. And we're going to go over a little bit of their business and how they became partners and kind of go over some pretty fun shit. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. So,
ready.
Thank you guys for joining us. And
man. Thank you for having us, man.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. So I've used you guys on numerous jobs when I was doing the construction part of my business, and me and Aaron have had many conversations about the property repair. Which, did you start that back up?
No, man. I mean, I do it. Yeah, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, right? I love it. I love every aspect of it. I love building things. So I do it for just a very slim high-end clientele, and I don't do it in the manner I used to. So the way I do it now is you just pay me a fee. You pay my monthly fee, and you get whatever you get out of the month, and it could go anywhere from A to Z. Sky's the limit, whatever you want, as long as A, you can afford it, and B, you can pay my monthly fee.
Hold the fuck up.
Yeah.
You're doing property repair on a retainer?
No, not necessarily property repair, but like high-end remodeling and, doing projects and custom things that are worth it, right?
So you're like a consultant? Pretty
much, yeah. You're allowed to use all my contacts, pay all my direct fees to all my vendors. I manage the job, make sure everything, like a typical contractor, but I kind of eliminated the hassle of why do I want to mark up every single little thing to try and grind someone to make $1 when I know what I want to make at the end of the day. So this is my fee. You can pay me my fee, and let's bang out as much as we possibly can for what you want to do and what you want to accomplish, whether it be your office, your bathroom, your kitchen, your home, whatever it may be.
That's genius.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's really, you're paying for his knowledge, number one, and his contacts at the end of the day. Yeah. So, I mean, if you can just kind of sum it up and get right to the point, I mean, he's really good at it. He says, unfortunately, like it's such a headache, and he loves every minute of it. So,
yeah, I do. But luckily, we have a great business. I have a great business partner. We have a great relationship, and it works really well. I try not to consume all my time with it, though. You know firsthand how hard things can be, especially when you're dealing with people, and you're in their house and you're wrecking their shit. And then, what about this and what about that? And you're watching the process. So it's much easier to deal with more of a higher end clientele that has somewhat of an idea of what they want, where they're going, and how we're going to get there. And it's just all executing the plan at the end of the day. So,
dude, I'm so jealous of your guys' business relationship. I mean, everybody sees you guys killing it, and it's just awesome to be able to have somebody that is in the same industry with the same mindset, and you guys are good friends. I see you guys out going golfing, smoking cigars, and enjoying life together on birthdays and stuff. And it's just awesome to have somebody that is on the same level that you're on, because you can really excel that way, dude. And I really believe that. And that's my wife.
It's your partner.
I'm not going to say unfortunately, because she's going to watch that.
Don't watch it, right?
But it's extremely admirable. I just want to let both of you guys know that, and I can guarantee that I'm not the only person that thinks that. So
we appreciate that. Yeah, sincerely.
We're friends first before business, and I think that's a lot of our success and our continual growth comes from hey, with business aside, you're my friend first, and anything outside of this this workplace, I'm still your friend. I mean, we've had our arguments, we still fight back and forth, like we're brothers. But at the end of the day, we treat one another like we're family, and business is business. And, at the end of the day, we can shake hands and we can hug each other and say, I love you. And, we're back at it the next day. And I think that's really the staple of what we got going on.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that comes to our business that knows us, we tell everybody we're brothers off the bat. It eliminates all the questions, right? Family business, we're brothers. This is what we do, because that's how we operate.
Yeah, so let's jump into how this got started. So, National Stone is basically when you kind of got into the business. That's been a family business around for a long time, right?
Long time, yeah, since 2000.
Wow.
So we've been doing this quite a while. I mean, quite a while. I jumped into, we'll call it the construction industry, the finishes aspect of it with, my pops. And my goal was to really take the business just to another level. I mean, he established himself. He's created such a great network, and we've just taken it, to a whole new level with, social media in particular. And just really networking with people. And it's a constant thing on a daily basis. We're working at it, and we're just trying to get better at it. But in that, we basically, him and I, we've been since childhood, we've been friends, but he met up because he was doing his property repair thing. We had met up, and he had a few jobs that he was going to sub out to me to, fabricate and install and stuff like that.
When you're doing the property repair thing.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So then it kind of just worked out from there. And there's just the cabinet business itself. I mean, the cabinet business itself, as to kind of sum it up, it's a really good business. And the property that was up in front of National Stone's building happened to become available, and him and I were really going back and forth, on numerous occasions, for months and months and months, and it just kind of worked out.
So your guys' shop, because I've seen your guys' operation, it's fucking insane.
Yeah, 2-acre property.
It's insane. I mean, I remember the first time, because you guys did all your fabrication in-house, like everything. It was crazy. Yeah. I was mind-blown the first time I walked your guys' property. So that building that Cabinet Sellers is in, originally you guys didn't have.
No, so before the market crash, this is, way back when, before the market crash, our family had owned the property. So we owned it, and then basically to survive the crash, we had to sell it to, who owns it now. And with such being said, we, now obviously, lease the property from them, but it was divided into two different properties. And before it was a mechanic shop?
Yeah, another builder, like a construction company, but yeah, so it's hard to make a retail business sustainable. Obviously, Jeff's parents have done it very well for the past 25 years because his father knows how to sacrifice to seek reward. So he's able to sustain being there for 25 plus years now. So we're trying to go down that same path and be able to sustain and,
We're taking it to a whole other level. So, I mean, he hopped in. We were going back and forth on projects, and it kind of just worked out. We saw the profit margin on cabinets and, the high demand for them. And it just one thing led to another. You want to be in the business. At least, my philosophy on the business is I would much rather sell, we'll say, 5 products for $10,000 versus trying to sell 500 products, for $1,000 or, whatever you want to equivalent the math to. It's selling quality products, and those quality products do have a much higher profit margin. And we just saw the opportunity, and it's worked out for us ever since.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's crazy. So when the crash happened in 2008, right? Were you working at National Stone?
No, I think I had hopped in a little bit after that, and I kind of just learned the business. I mean, my plan originally was to learn the business and just take over the stone business, so my father and my mother could retire and we can just, move on, and I can, write them a check every week, and everyone's happy, and everyone feels good, and they can go on vacation for the rest of their life, kind of thing. But
good for you.
One thing led to another, and it just I saw a lot of opportunity with Aaron specifically just because his knowledge of the business.
Yep.
I didn't have as much knowledge as that. I knew stone, I know tile, I know that kind of stuff, but when it comes to the woodwork and the carpentry aspect of it, and honestly just the broad spectrum of construction itself, he has quite a bit of knowledge. So it's just lots of opportunity there.
Let's get into that. So when I met you, I was under the impression that your first business was a carpet cleaning business, right? Is that right?
So yeah, believe it or not,
same as me.
Same as you. So I actually bought a pre-existing carpet cleaning business, which obviously led into tiling and all that stuff. But I started that when I was 18, and went ham on it ever since. I mean, I come from a grading background, so grading and paving, moving dirt, and that's really where I started out very young, at a young age, and got to the point to where I was making great money, making like $28 an hour, running a D9 dozer.
At 18?
Just dusting off pads. Actually dropped out of high school at 15, veering 16, and went to work in the dirt work industry for my father full time.
Damn.
And got a GED, of course. Did all that stuff.
You and me both.
Didn't do anything for me. I'm always been a hands-on guy.
Yeah.
But in terms of construction, I mean, I started in the dirt industry, like pounding stakes and doing grades and elevations at like 13 years old every summer, and then got to the point where I was like, well, I want to make money. Went straight into work, quit school, got to the point where I was like, well, I love you guys, but I gotta go make more money. And that's when I bought my first carpet cleaning business, $18,500. Remember it till the day. Got the truck and continued the guy's clientele, which luckily he had a Parks and Recreation contract. So I was already doing the Allen Bible Visitor Center, all the Lake Mead properties, the ranger stations, the houses. So I pretty much paid 18 grand and I made that back in the first month alone. So it was well worth it.
Damn.
Well worth it. Yeah.
I should have bought one instead of starting one from scratch.
It was much easier, to be honest with you, because the guy direct transferred his phone number to me and I could not believe it. I was nervous as shit. I didn't have any money at the time. I spent every dollar I possibly had.
It's a scary jump, dude.
It's scary. It really is. At the time, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
That's his style, though. It really isn't. I love that about him. Is I try to be I don't want to say conservative because I can get a little wild myself, but he's if he's in, he's in, and that's really what drives. I mean, today you have to be. You can't just kind of say, oh, I'm going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I mean, you have to be 100% if you really want to do something really well.
Yeah. I agree. What made you make that jump?
Dude, by that time I was 18. I already had my son. I had a kid at a young age, so I already had my son. And I was living in an apartment, had a car payment, making this great money, but it wasn't shit at the end of the day because your bills are due every single week. Food, your house over your head, everything. It adds up. And I couldn't just be stagnant. I was like, screw this. And I'm glad I took the jump very early because now, I mean, I'm not old, obviously 20, 28, 29 years old now. And I'm like, okay, I'm still not even there. I'm not even an eighth of the way there.
Oh, yeah.
We got plenty of places to go.
That's all we talk about
on
a daily basis. It's just, I mean, especially now you see with social media, everyone's got this, they got that. And we try to really separate ourselves from that. But you see now that the world is so exposed and you see what people got going on and you get a little discouraged, but we sit there in that office every day and we're like, man, like we're showing up every day and we're putting in the work and we're putting in the time. Like it's gonna come eventually. It will come.
It's not about the money. We're not talking about a money aspect here. When we say, when Jeff says, oh, it's gonna come, it's not about the money. I mean,
freedom.
It's the freedom, right?
That's the perfect word for it. It really is.
Jeff says, one of his things he likes to say is that, wants to work less and make more money, right? That's the dream. And then come back the next day, well, that ain't going to happen. Yeah. We already know that.
No, let's hop back into reality.
Let's hop back in and let's get it today. So it's great. In terms of what we do and how we survive and how we really scale and expand is Jeff's marketing skills, right? So I'm an idiot when it comes to, you can't get me on Google, Yelp, reviews. You can't get me on, social media. People message me from our business pages and I'm not the one that responds. So it's funny as fuck when someone is texting Jeff, they're thinking it's me on Instagram or something. It's the most hilarious thing ever.
But on the other end of that aspect, when they're yelling at Aaron or they're yelling at Jeff, I'm like, oh no, this is Aaron. What are you talking about?
Oh, really? You guys will fuck with people?
Yeah, no, it's good. The reason. I mean, that's why I say we have a really good balance in our relationship in the sense of if you ask about, we show up to a project, I'm looking at the project and I'm like, Aaron, is that something we can do? He's like, yeah, that's something we can do. I'm like, all right, we're gonna do it then. And then, vice versa, when we're, like today, I spent half the day, messing with our website because there was an issue with, so on and so forth. And those are just things that, I've acquired as knowledge and, he has his knowledge on his end. So it kind of just works out. We don't have to hire a bunch of people to do all these different jobs because, him and I kind of operate everything inside and out.
Which we've tried before, man. We've had our payroll up to 20 grand a week, and just with all these employees and all this extra BS that we didn't need. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling, honestly.
And you're producing more, yes, but at the same time you're spending more.
You're losing more too.
Spending more, making less. Like everybody, you want to grow and you want to scale, but I really believe that you can scale with just a few people, but you have to be efficient. Yeah. You got to be organized, and you have to just have a plan. I think the plan is the most important part. Stay focused on it.
Where Jeff comes into play is planning to execute.
It was hard for you guys though, right? Because when you guys had all those employees, there was a lot more cash flow coming in, right?
Much more.
Way more cash flow.
Yeah.
But the expenses went up. I went through that same thing when I was doing the property repair. That's why I shut it all down.
You had tons of employees.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I know. I had.
Work vehicle. You had all those work vehicles.
You
all
guys
those
have one of my work
employees.
trucks. I
We
still
bought
have
one. We still have one of those. Yeah.
Dude, but it's crazy. I was so used to so much money coming in.
Right.
It was hard to keep up with how much was going out.
Yep.
You know, it was a constant game of robbing Peter to pay Paul for the next job.
That's all it is.
And it was a fucking nightmare.
That's why I had to get out of that. I had to change. I took the same concept in terms of being a contractor, and I just tweaked it. I just said, hey, I'm tired of nickel and diamond, man. I want my check. This is what I want every month.
Yeah.
Can you afford it? Yes or no? Okay. That's all it is.
Yeah, you know your worth.
Because of that reason right there. I know you love the business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just when you love something so much and it just kicks you in the dick every week, it sucks.
But what is it that you love so much about it? And that's really what I'm like. I ask him. He said some days I see him come to work and he just looks like beaten. I'm like, dude, like he's like, I don't love this no more. I'm like, you do love it. You just don't love today, right? Like,
Yeah.
what is it that keeps you going? I guess you can say, because this business it's an addicting thing. Just when it's good, it's really good.
Yeah.
And when it's shitty, it's not so good.
Business in general.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you, Robert, right? So you know what you can capitalize on. You know what you're really good at and efficient at, right? Pressure washing. You can kick everybody's dick in when it comes to competition and pressure washing. I've seen you. You're at gas stations. You're at commercial.
You're all over the
buildings.
place.
You're all over the place. Yeah. And you're doing it, right? And it's streamlined.
Thank you.
You can do it efficiently. And we see the hard work you put in and what you're getting out of it, right? You're getting this freedom to do this show that we're so graciously on.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you know, it's really crazy that I went from, and you guys will probably relate to this a lot, is I was spread so thin,
yeah.
you know? And I feel like when you guys probably had those employees, you were spread way more thin than you are now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which sounds weird because you guys took on more responsibilities now because you're doing PR, or, you're doing marketing, like whatever it is, and you're doing all of that where you had all these employees, but when you had all these employees, all you're doing is just babysitting them all day and showing them how to do their job.
Pretty much.
Like, I mean, when
100%.
we were doing the property repair, I loved the gratification of taking nothing and turning it into something,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you guys get because you guys take, old kitchens and bathrooms and make them fucking beautiful.
Yeah, we're in the finished business. So
Yeah.
we get the final product, but it's got its ups and downs, and I mean you see that, right?
Oh,
You've
yeah.
seen it before firsthand, and you think that you have an idea when you start hiring all these people. I mean, we bought a paint booth. We have everything possible going on.
What's up with the cars?
Oh man, that's our love.
What's
That's
up with the
love.
cars?
That's the
We can't
hobby.
let that go, man.
Well, you guys are so you bought the paint booth. I'm assuming for cabinets. No.
Something along that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you bought it for the cars,
Yeah,
Pretty much.
and then
paint a shit ton of cabinets. Don't get me wrong.
No, we made our money back on the booth through painting cabinets. That's for sure.
That's a fact.
right.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Okay.
IRS if you're watching.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And it kind of just turned. We just can't let it go, man. When you like, I come from, my grandfather was, in the body shop business, so that just it's in me. It's something I've learned to not take into. It's not a business for me. It's more so as a hobby for me. When we get the free time, that's something we love to do. His grandfather did the same thing, and I think it teaches us a lot.
We've thought about renting it out for additional income, but then we think, well, we don't need the money, and we don't want someone fucking our shit up. So we're just gonna, if we're not using it, we're not using it.
Yeah.
That's
When
kind of
we
where
feel
we're
like
at with
using
it.
it, we're gonna use it. And that's
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
what it is.
Pretty
So
much.
you guys just buy like old beat up cars and just
Yeah.
rehab them,
hobby.
enjoy them for a little bit, and then
Exactly.
Let 'em go.
I think all of us, including yourself,
Yeah.
we see you do it, man.
Yeah, you
Oh,
know.
God.
Buy and sell and buy and sell.
Does you guys' wife hate it at all?
Yeah.
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 My wife hates it.
She gets an attachment to it for sure, and we have to have a conversation, for about a week on why
Yep.
we sold it, and Then we're over it and we find the next project, and she's stoked about it.
She'd be like, you just bought this, and then you got it to exactly how we wanted it. It's freaking perfect, and now you're just selling it again.
By that
100%.
time, that you're burnt out on it, man.
Yeah,
you're done with it.
How long have I had that Ford, the Ford Coupe?
Oh man, so at least 8 months now, right? 6 to 8 months.
I drove it no more than 3 miles, and it was taken apart after
Picked it up, we bought it, right?
Yeah.
We drove it to the shop, dismembered it,
Took everything out.
everything. I mean, how much? Explain what you did to it so far, at least. I
think this is one of, I always say this, but I think it's one of my greatest projects yet. I took this car that I've been searching for forever, got a smoking deal on it. At least I like to think so. I got a smoking deal on it, and I told myself that if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. So I literally took every single thing you could possibly, I took everything out of the car. I took the engine out, took the trans out, rebuilt everything. Everything's brand new on the car. Redid the entire wiring. I've updated everything, so it's going to be legitimate. I want to really be able to fire the car up and take my kids out and be able to have fun with it. And it's been nonstop. It's lots of money, lots of headache, lots of time. I mean, it's been at least 6 months, more than that. It was last winter.
But I mean, it's got an all new air ride system, frame off, rebuilt, all new wiring, suspension. I mean, everything.
You learn
uppers,
as you go.
lowers.
I mean, you've seen the stuff. I see when we went over to your house, you had a bunch of little projects going on.
Yeah.
Had the sand car in there.
Yeah.
You had all that stuff.
All that's gone.
Engines, exactly.
Everything.
It's gonna-
Everything.
And
I
you're
have
gonna
no
have new
toys.
stuff in a couple weeks or a couple months.
Yeah. Dude, you want to know what's funny? You posted a picture of on your social media with your razor and your kid.
Yeah.
That day, I was sitting in my kitchen. I looked over at my wife laying on the couch, and I was like, hey, get up. I got a surprise for you. She was like, what? I was like, we're going to go buy something. She was like, what the fuck are we getting?
Yeah.
We ended up going down to Ride Now to try and buy the Pro R or whatever, the newest razor. They wanted like $60,000 for it. I was like, dude.
They tried to dick me, honestly.
Dude, $1,300 for a battery protection plan
Yeah, stupid.
that they wouldn't take off. I'm like, you're selling $1,300 for a $200 battery?
So
$60,000
For the
$60,000, you can buy a really nice truck.
Oh, I know.
so
$60,000.
for the record, fuck Ride Now. Went to Carter. Okay. Ride Now.
They got it figured out.
Ride Now tried to charge me $4,500 to assemble and $4,500 for shipping. Okay, that's $9,000, right?
Yeah.
Like what? Went over to Carter, $1,500 a piece, $3,000 shipping and assembly.
Yeah.
That's how much money I saved on the same exact thing. Now spent $50,000. Okay, but
That's a $10,000 difference.
I'm happy as a motherfucker with it though. Like
Yeah.
that thing is.
great.
You got the turboed one?
I got the turbo because I didn't want to touch the brand new motor yet, and I know that they're, everything new always has problems. That turbo motor, yeah. I mean, if I want an extra 40 horsepower,
Yeah, but you turbo the new one, it's like 400 and something horsepower.
How fast are you trying to go?
yeah. I mean, we
You saw the sand rail.
Yeah, but
Doing
come
like 80
on,
mile an hour wheelies, dude. It was fun.
See, but that's where you get something like, one of those crazy, like,
yeah.
Tatum sand trucks or something.
yeah, like that's when you really, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
We were just looking at a racer engineering for like 160, and we're
Yeah,
like,
dude,
"God,
$200,000. I'm not spending that kind of money on something to go use for.
one weekend.
Exactly.
Couple weekends.
But that's the same thing with like boats and stuff. I've seen, we've all had boats and
Luck-
we've sold them. And
Luckily, we live on the mountain.
too much,
right?
man.
So
The boat I bought from you.
yeah.
you remember that thing? You
I took
that
it
out
into the ocean.
Hey, you need to put a photo of that thing. If you have a photo, we painted that
We
thing
put a
too.
sweet
we
paint
put a
job
sweet
on
paint job on that thing.
That bass boat flake.
Man, dude.
I remember when you picked that up.
it was fucking sinking in the ocean.
I think that was the first time that I met you. Aaron said, yeah, Robert's coming to buy this. I said, who's Robert? He said, he's coming to buy this. And you're like, yeah, I'm taking that thing out into the ocean. I said, are you sure? You said, yeah, we're going right now. I'm like, all right.
Straight took it to Newport, didn't
It was
you?
like a 16-foot dinghy.
It was.
Hey.
You went out there getting it too.
Dude, it was like my birthday weekend or whatever. Oh, man. Dude, so it was taking on a ton of water. There was literally screws going through the side of it everywhere.
Oh, man.
And then the bilge pump stopped working.
Oh no.
So we had to like floor it to the
Smashing on it.
Dude.
look cool though.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was a blast, man. We had a cooler, like it was a great time.
That's
But-
what that boat was for, though, because
Yeah.
that's exactly what we did at Lake Mead. Just put a cooler out there, take the kids out, and go have a good time, man.
Dude, I ended up selling it to Daniel, my old
yeah,
employee,
Daniel, yeah.
for whatever $500 or
$500,
whatever,
yeah.
whatever I paid you for it. And dude, he ended up like getting some motor work done on it for free and sold it for like $2,500.
I mean, if you think about it, like we spent more on flake and paint for that fucking thing.
I know. Well, there was people offering you like $3,000 for that thing. So thank you.
Oh yeah, I was
Appreciate
like,
you.
that's what I'm saying. I was like, here, take it. You know, I don't need it. It's not
Yeah.
about the money. It was to have a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time. Trust
We
me.
love dicking off with stuff like that. That's more importantly.
That's kind of where we get back to. I mean, and it's not.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why we work so hard, right?
Exactly. We lose sight of that a lot, and I always go back to moments like those, just to where you just kind of. I mean, we were into the motorcycles for a while, and then it was the boats, and then it's those are the moments that you really just like. You know, you take the family out and you go have a good time, and you realize, you know, why you work so hard, and it's just to live in moments like that, and that's like the best thing you could possibly do for yourself. I think that's the best medicine for any possible stress, anything, man. It's the best, really.
Is the cabinet business and the stone business extremely stressful?
No, not really, man. I mean, people are always going to be stressful. The business is easy. The work is easy. We do, you know, everything from obviously custom cabinets, custom countertops, custom closets, custom gun safes, I mean, everything, man. And we've done it all already in the business within the short, 5 years we've been into it.
Do you guys distribute as well?
Yeah, we do. Lake Havasu, Colorado. So Arizona, Colorado, Utah.
Like bordering states.
Yeah, just our bordering
When you
states,
started, how did you guys get into that? Like I want to know the story. I want to know how you guys got, like, how cabinet sellers became cabinet sellers.
We incurred this massive amount of overhead from our building, and we said, well, we got to make money. Right when everything was shutting down, your brick and mortar businesses, we were hopping in.
Yeah.
But we were basically focused on using that showroom that we have now to store cabinets. So we bought a bunch of material, bought a bunch of boxes, so on and so forth. And we were selling strictly online. We had a full online business. It was all, just selling cabinets online, and we were sending them out left and right because no one can get stock of anything.
This was during COVID?
This is during COVID. Yeah, our door was literally locked, and we were selling cabinets. We had at that time, I mean, it was just me and Aaron, but our overhead was at least, $12,000 a month at that time.
Easy.
And that's just for the shop. That isn't our own personal, our own personal bills. So we were like, you know what? Let's sell cabinets. Let's sell cabinets, and let's do that.
Our very first year in business, gross sales $1 million. Very, very first. It's so hard
right out the gate.
It's so hard for people.
Just
to
sales?
Do that. Just gross.
Or
sales.
Is that with? I'm saying is that just sales, or was that with?
No, that's just sales.
Oh, because you guys don't even do the installs, right?
No. I mean, if we're doing full custom, yes, 100%. We're not going to let some other jack off touch our work. If it's just selling out of the box cabinets like RTA ready to assemble stuff, no, we don't install. But if we're doing custom work, like custom bookshelves, like we talked about, custom closets, things of that nature, gun safes, gun
expected
rims,
to at that point.
Yeah, we have to install.
There's a lot of logistics behind that, huh?
More than even.
Well, because I'm assuming on every cabinet job that you sell, you guys do the stone.
Yeah, pretty much.
For the most
9
part.
times out of 10.
Right? At least locally.
Yeah. I mean, there's the occasion people will buy stone, they won't buy cabinets. People will buy cabinets, they won't buy stone. It doesn't bother us.
Yeah, but
we're getting it one way or the other.
I mean, for like the remodel part of it, like let's say you guys are part of a bigger remodel or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to you for cabinets. Typically, cabinets and stone go hand in hand.
The convenience aspect of it is really the big thing.
Yeah.
Family business, people love that.
Yeah.
And and this is not to toot our own horn. It's just we really are dedicated to being really good at what we do. I think that's really what drives our business. We're not just trying to sell you something and being like, all right, see you later. Like, we'll guide you through the process. And, our cell phones are always open. Our personal lines are always open for people to ask us questions, or, if they're freaking out or whatever it is. I mean, we really try to cater to that. I think it's the experience that people really pay for.
Yeah.
You guys are quick, man. That one remodel I had over off out towards Boulder City or whatever. I mean, you guys were like
7 days.
No, it was way less than 7 days.
Our average turnaround time, like our average max turnaround time, is about 7 days.
Oh, for the turnaround, I was talking about just for the install. I couldn't believe how fast.
we're in and
couple
out a couple
hours.
hours.
Oh, dude, I was
Yeah, we
like,
don't mess around.
damn, I'm in the wrong business.
It's easy to say, right? It's easy
Even
to
we
say.
look at that and you see, but I mean, there's these machines that you have.
Oh,
and all
no,
these
I
things.
get it.
It's so much, dude, and
Yeah.
that's really like we've really been fortunate to be in the position that we're in. I mean, you see that. You see in the operation, and sometimes it's just easier to say, hey, here's these guys, and, there you go. But the business that, you were doing was fantastic, dude. It's still a booming business.
I've tried to get you to install. Remember, like I've been like,
Yeah,
hey man,
I know.
we're gonna cut, we're gonna fabricate, pick it up, install it. That's all you got to do. No, I don't want to do it.
You don't want
Yeah.
to touch
You
it
know,
sometimes.
because sometimes it's not the money's not worth the headache, right? So
Absolutely, it's crazy.
yeah,
But so you explained how Cabinet Sellers got started, like getting big in COVID. What did Cabinet Sellers start in the middle of COVID?
No, we started before
Way before
COVID,
that, right?
but like getting into the business. I mean, COVID was a big part because we're only like a year in, right? Pre-COVID.
Yeah, I want to know exactly how this partnership got created. I want to know how you guys created this partnership and how Cabinet Sellers literally got started. Like,
So the bulk of it is like Jeff said, we've always been friends, but he said, hey man, Jeff came to me and he said, I want to do something. I said, all right, let's do something. He's like, well, let's sell cabinets. All right, fuck it. We're selling cabinets. Let's do it. And that's really, there's no glorious nothing behind it. We said,
Yeah.
hey, okay, let's do it. What's it going to take? What's it going to cost us? And we're going to run with it.
But really where it started and what I had seen, because I had a business partner previously, and he was my friend, and that's not something we'll talk about, but I looked at Aaron and I knew that he was very, just through his personality on a personal level, he was very driven. And I'm like, dude, like you need to have someone he's very driven. He's very honest and just a very straight up dude. And you can't ask for more than that. And that's really, our business was built on a friendship first before anything. And, I said, hey, I got this knowledge. I can bring this to the table. I know you have this much knowledge and you know a lot about this part of the business. If we, can combine forces here, we can really do something special. And
I mean, before we even started Cabinet Sellers, though, really, Jeff and Aaron were already selling cabinets. If you think about it, like we really were. We were already selling cabinets together, both making money in the business on my remodels, right? And his knowledge and resource of the product, because at the time he had the capability through his dad to be able to directly import, because that's what they do is import all the stone, right? So we were already doing it before we actually opened the business. I mean, we were selling jobs and doing jobs together. So it went hand in hand once we were like, okay, let's just do this. It's working. We both know we can make money. Let's just do it.
damn.
Yeah.
And the closer and closer when you see, you're selling, let's say you're as a general contractor, you see, hey, there's opportunity in this business. The closer you get, and the further up you go in the supply chain to where, you are the guy, the more money you're making.
Yeah.
And at the same time, though, you have to also make sure that you can supply what it is that you're trying to distribute, in the sense of like, I need to have enough clients to sell all this to, if I'm going to take on this big expense and incur, having all this warehouse and having all these materials in here and so on and so forth.
Our new big thing, and to anybody listening out there, our new big thing is that full overlay European. All right. We're making all the panels in-house, cutting and edge banding all the doors, and then the boxes are RTA. So you could come to the warehouse. I don't take that back. You're not allowed to come to the fucking warehouse. We only deliver, right? Because there's other competitors here in town, allow people to pick up from the warehouse. It's a fucking shit show, to be honest with you. We directly deliver next day cabinets to anybody's house or job site, okay? And your doors will be cut within 24 to 48 hours. We have a whole catalog of colors, custom colors that you get to pick. So we're really weeding out of the face frame stuff, like the shaker style face frame.
Everybody's got it.
Everybody's got it.
Yeah,
We said screw that. CNC edge bander, custom made panels. Nobody else has them because we're directly gluing and making the panels. And we're really going to start pumping and killing the market and all these other guys with this RTA shaker garbage. It's going out of style.
We're really
fast.
trying to move away from that, because there was a time, I kid you not, we were doing at least like $75,000 a week on just white shaker, not any other color.
Yeah.
White
It
shaker.
was all the flippers.
All the flippers,
It's
man. And it's
Insane.
So what does that mean in turn? And I try to tell people this when people still come to us this day and they're like, oh, we want white shaker. I'm like, we've been selling white shaker for a long time now to a lot of people. You're going to have the same kitchen and you're going to be behind.
Yeah.
The idea of this is to be ahead. You want to, get the next best thing. And now, that's not being a salesman. It's just, I want to be ahead of the curve. I mean, like 8 months ago, I was telling people, I'm like, I guarantee you blues are going to be in.
Yeah.
I guarantee you the wood look is going to be back in.
Said the greens.
The greens, olive green. For those of you listening, olive green.
Olive green and what is it? Navy, not navy, the navy blue?
Yeah.
Navy blue. I've been telling people, and black. Everyone's so afraid of black. My house, all black and white. Everything. My wife hates it, but it's all black and white, and I love it. Now, are we? We're in the process of building a home right now, but and everything's going to be much different because cleaning black countertops, for reference, it's not the business.
In this table.
No, it's fingerprints, everything. Yeah. But so the colors, you want to be ahead. The door styles, you want to be ahead. Everything. I mean, it's all.
Yeah. So our price point competitiveness for weeding out all that is killer. We're undercutting all the competition in and around Las Vegas in order to really get our product out there, because we've got a facility and a partnership to where we have a 30,000 square foot warehouse full of boxes with a CNC and an edge bander ready to bang. Yeah. So we really just taking it to a different level.
This all sprouted from one fire that started, and I don't mean a literal fire. I mean a fire that started with one of our suppliers going around our back and taking a big contractor that we were supplying for a long time. I mean, we're talking, $65,000 job going around our back and undercutting us when we were supposed to be guaranteed a certain price, right?
Yeah.
So instead of us now, hoping and praying that, everyone sticks to their word based on a handshake, we're like, we're going to just eliminate all of that. Yeah. We're going to just do it ourselves. So no one can undercut us. So our original plan was to just do what we were doing, but now it's really changed gears because
big time.
Yeah.
We actually we're gutting our whole showroom right now and getting rid of all that shaker shit because garbage. We're over it.
It's garbage.
Our new showroom is going to be, I mean, God, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, no one else is going to have all that. Yeah. Definitely not.
It's a total different whirlwind. So we're excited for it.
You have to be ahead. You really do. That's in everything. We try to be ahead, and I'm going to tell you, there's some really big players out there when it comes to the online world of selling cabinets. We tried to hop in and just be a solely online business, and it's hard, man.
It's so hard.
Like you can. Really? There's some really big. To be an online business, you have to have a huge bankroll.
Not just that, but there's so many. Cabinets sounds easy, right? Oh, slap some shit in there. There's so many product SKUs when it goes into building and designing a kitchen. 3 inches can fuck up a whole kitchen. Fuck, a half an inch can fuck up a whole kitchen.
So who goes out and does all the measurements?
We do now.
Yeah, it depends, right? So like if we're just wholesaling to contractors take care of everything. If we're doing custom, then obviously we're going to go out and do that.
But best case scenario is, you want to keep it under control. I think that was a part of really when we tried to scale, we were having all these guys go out there and, measure the property and do all this, but they didn't have as much knowledge as they thought they did. And they were measuring, but, they failed to measure where the outlet is or where the gas line is and little things like that. And if you have to move a cabinet over a couple inches, it's going to set your project back. It can set your project back weeks. We've seen it happen. Yeah. And it looks bad on us because we're the ones that measured.
God, I don't miss that shit.
No. Yeah. It's that's why it's it's that bittersweet. Like there's so many, when it's done, you're like, all right. But in most cases, if one thing goes wrong, you now have, unless you fix it, which we're really good about it. Unless you fix it, I mean, it can cause a whole tornado of things. So
sets back your backsplash, your countertops, your sink, your plumbing. I mean, whatever.
One day, and you know that you've seen it. You dealt with it all.
Yep, it's a nightmare.
But you had to have a team of people to do it.
Yep,
that's really all it is.
So long and the short is, distribution is a big thing for us. We really pump it. We really try to pump it. It's a big part of our business. And it goes with
selling
everything.
Cabinets, and that's it.
Yeah, that's
selling
good.
Cabinets.
I mean, it seems like you guys are killing it. Yeah. It's and so these larger remodels, are you a part of these too?
Yeah.
So you guys are just both out on these crazy ass job sites, and then
I'm good with putting shit together. Right, I'm not saying I lack design sense because I do design a lot of my own stuff when it comes to my own properties. Jeff, right? I'm the guy that goes out to measure, make sure everything's accurate. Jeff's the guy that makes it beautiful. If you want design advice or what's up to date, you're going to talk to Jeff, and that's 100%. So anytime I even go do work for other people, I'm going to consult with him and be like, hey, what do you think about this? Does this look good? Is this right? No, let's change this, do that. Okay. That's a big part of our partnership.
But you asked me
well.
how to hang a barn door. I'm going to say, ask Aaron. Here's his phone number.
Yeah.
I'll direct transfer you, as a matter of fact.
I mean, that's good that you guys know your roles and responsibilities. A lot of people that are in partnerships don't.
That was a big thing, though, even in the beginning, because we're so, when we first started Cabinet Sellers, we were so anxious to just get out there and let everybody know that we're doing this, right? And we were hopping over each other and this and that. And we realized, I was going out, and without any knowledge, I was going out and measuring jobs. And even I was failing to do the right thing, right? Like, I know how to work a tape measure, and it's not like I don't have a sense of the business itself, but he knows that, when you put two certain kind of cabinets together, they need X amount of space for the doors to open, for the drawers to open. So I'm selling these jobs, you know what I mean? And I'm like, left and right, we got money coming in and there's jobs being sold, but we're also having to fix these jobs and buy different cabinets to make the job fit and so on and so forth. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe Aaron's better at this than I am. So let me just back up a little bit.
It's good that you went through that, though.
Oh yeah.
You had to learn those lessons.
Early on.
Yeah, but that's good. You learned those lessons. Everything happens for a reason. I mean,
absolutely, man.
I want to know, like, what's going on with you? You're going to all these
masterminds.
You're doing all these seminars. How are those? Is it worth the money to you? Are you getting the value out of it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
100%. So, it changed my life tenfold. Okay. Honestly, it changed my entire mindset. Changed my network. So here's how it started. And it's crazy that it goes so far back. Okay. So, I had a house that I was renting from a buddy of mine, John with Busted Knuckle. Okay. He's done some work for you guys before. Yeah. So, I found a house behind his, and I'm going to try and make this quick, but you guys need to know the entire story. I found a house behind his that I tried to buy and it was in probate. Tried to buy it, went and got a hard money loan so I can close like that, then refi. Somebody came way outbid me, like by a couple $100,000 outbid me. Okay. Insane. So when he found out that, he listed his house for sale right in the middle of COVID. Okay. When he listed his house for sale, the first person that came to see the house bought it, so I had to move out. And the only thing, at this time I didn't have a shop space, so I was doing everything out of my house, and you guys saw I had a ton of trucks, so I had to find something that fit everything. So I moved into a house. The only house that I could find was $3,300 a month, which was a shit ton of money for me.
Still is a lot.
And it was only, they would only lease it to me for 6 months.
Oh, best case scenario.
In the middle of COVID, and I was like, all right, well, this could be worse, So we move in, and I still kick my ass. Still kick myself in the ass every day for not buying this house. So they were selling the house, and I needed to move. My buddy Matt, he's the president of Capella Mortgage. Okay. He wanted to go travel, so he offered to rent me his house. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, you got to be out in 2 weeks. He was like, what? So he moved everything out of his house in 2 weeks.
That's a good friend, though, man.
Oh, dude. I mean, it does not get better than this guy. It's crazy. So after that, he said, hey, I want to sell the house. It's up to you if you want to buy it. And I was like, I do. But at that time, I needed to wait for my taxes to get done. Because the 2 previous years, I don't think I would have
Small
qualified.
Businesses, man. That's just the way it is.
It was hard.
That's a thing. That's
and,
definitely a thing.
And, for me, at that time, I was 27 years old. Buying $500,000 house by myself was...
It's a lot.
That's a lot, dude. It's hard.
Some people don't do that ever in their life.
Right. So it was crazy. And he had given me a number when I moved in. And in the time frame, the market skyrocketed. Yeah. I mean, like crazy. Jumped. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, fuck. I think I missed my chance.
Yeah.
He kept his word.
All right.
He did not raise the price on that house.
No
That's
shit.
A really good friend, man.
An amazing friend.
Seriously.
So at that moment, I was like, yeah, I will never. Dude, you got 100% of my trust. He was an amazing person always. I mean, he was a groomsman at my wedding. Amazing guy, right? This event called Clever Summit 22. Have you guys ever heard of the Clever Investor, Cody Sperber?
Cody Sperber, yeah.
Okay.
Talked about it. Yeah.
Yes. So he had an event. I had no idea who any of these guys were, what it was at all.
He started the whole, I want want to say ClickFunnels, but he was on the verge of
Yeah.
the ClickFunnels thing before he even knew what a
Right.
fucking ClickFunnels was. It was him showing a check with a Lambo. You can do this too, you know,
Yep.
wholesale property. So
So Matt was in the mortgage. He's in the mortgage business. He sponsored that Clever Summit event.
okay,
He had an extra VIP ticket. Hits me up and was like, "Hey, I got an extra ticket. It's at MGM.
right.
Come down."
How that worked out.
I
Man.
was like, "All right, whatever." Well, the VIP tickets, you get to walk backstage, and like we were sitting back there with like, dude, like Ed Milet. I mean, all these
Like
crazy
heavy
people.
hitters.
Yeah, heavy hitters in the real estate game. It was insane, dude. And just this energy like flushed through me. I was like, man, I got to get close to these people. I got to know what they're doing and that I'm not, you know?
It's empowering, huh?
I
Just to
wa-
be in the presence of people like that. I love it.
Oh yeah,
I'm
and this
getting a
is
thrill from it
this is
just
exactly
right
how
now.
this podcast got started. I walk up to Cole Hatter. He's a big player in the real estate game. Actually, when you guys showed up, I was on a Zoom call with them. I walked up to him. I was like, dude, I don't know who you are. This is my first time ever being to anything like this. All I know is I need to have a conversation with you. I'm willing to fly anywhere in the United States at any given time. Tell me where and when I'll be there. I need to have a conversation with you. And there was like 30 people around him, like trying to talk to him, and he just like stopped and like looked at me. He was like, "Why don't you come down to my cabana tomorrow?" I was like, "All right."
makes it easy.
Dude.
Hey, Cabana.
Sometimes
I'm there.
it's just about what you say.
But I ended
You know
up
what I'm saying?
having like this super in depth with one of his best friends, Legacy Perez. He was like one of the show contestants on So You Can Think You Can Dance or whatever.
Okay.
Super cool dude. He's a life coach. And, we started talking about our life stories, and he was like, dude, you got to tell your story. Like, you
Gotta
you
let
could
'em
help
know.
a lot of people,
Yeah.
because I've been through a lot of shit. And so that's how this got created, the Bad Beat Podcast. And then, I just started meeting all these people. And the relationships are where I got my ROI.
Yeah.
Because relationships trump dollar signs every day.
Yeah. I agree.
Like, you guys can't put a value on your relationship.
No. And that goes a lot with a lot of the people that we deal with. We don't get me wrong, we make a lot of money off of all the little guys that do the flips and the flops and all that. Some of our best relationships are with, the one percenters, and it's true because
Yeah.
they don't always need us, but when they do need us or when they know someone that needs us, they call
counts.
us. It counts because
counts.
they're real heavy hitters, especially in our business.
Yeah.
They don't ask questions. They don't care what the cost is. Can you do it and can you do it right?
Yeah, that's the best client to have. We all wish we could have clients like that, right?
Yeah. And I mean, like, dude, I've acquired real estate since then with Matt. I mean, me and him are now business partners in a real estate holding group, and it's just so, dude, it's so crazy. Which cigars? You guys both like cigars, right?
You know what's so funny is John was just in our showroom a couple weeks ago telling us you went on some crazy endeavor for some cigars.
You
huh?
wanna hear
I
some
gotta
crazy
hear this.
shit?
I gotta hear this.
Okay, so we went to Boston, Massachusetts for the mastermind that I'm in is called the Avengers. It's the Avengers Mastermind, and we went to Boston for a meetup.
Okay.
I met this dude, Chris. Chris is a cigar connoisseur. I mean, crazy. And he was actually he was actually one of the people at the cabana as well.
Okay.
So we ended up meeting up in Boston, and the event was over. And me and Matt had brought our girls down to enjoy Boston with us. So when it was over, we all kind of went out on a bike ride. We started smoking cigars, whatever. That's like when I got into cigars. Well, he hits me up, and come to find out, the cigars that he had used to belong to Fidel Castro.
Oh, that's great.
They used to belong to Fidel Castro, and they were gifted to Diego Maradona. Do you know who Diego Maradona
Yeah,
is?
soccer player?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so Diego Maradona passed away. He had a property in Napa, and when he passed away, he had a nephew that lived out there named Christopher Maradona. I have a picture of his ID because I was like, I'm giving you a lot of money right now for these cigars.
Yeah.
I want some shit.
Is this the guy? Right?
Yeah, so it was, dude, his name's Christopher Maradona. I have his address, all that stuff. So he was in charge of the estate in Napa, and Diego had this crazy humidor in his property and insane cigars. And so he calls me. He's like, yo, dude, this is the last batch. You got one opportunity. Let me know. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm in. Just let me know. So I ended up, have you guys ever flown Jet Suite X?
No, but I
No.
saw that you did.
Dude, awesome. best experience ever. It's like, dude, it was like $300 maybe.
Yeah.
I'd literally walk out onto the tarmac, jump onto a jet, fly to San Francisco. I ended up getting a hotel room for the night, hanging out with this dude. He brings over these a trunk full of boxes of Cubans. Like fucking insane, dude. Like these are from 2009.
That's a long time for something like that. That is a long time.
I have like his collection is ridiculous. My collection's pretty impressive, but his collection,
It's addicting.
Yeah, it is.
It's
dude,
addicting. It really is.
when you get a chance, go look him up on Instagram. It's the fourth third.
Okay. So
Insane.
We've done smoke shots. Tell them about Roy. Give them a little taste of a Roy in the cedar.
Oh man, this was how long ago was this?
This is a couple
Long and the
years
short
now.
is we were building these humidors and like all these trays. Which a humidor, if anybody knows anything about cigars, I mean, you have to have cedar wood. It has to be cedar wood. Like a real deal humidor is made of cedar wood. It retains a lot of moisture, so on and so forth. But we had built this because me and Aaron had gotten into cigars one random day.
Yeah.
We went over to this cigar warehouse and we met the owner, and he clicked really well with us. And long or the short is, going back to network, we're buying cigars from this guy and so on and so forth. And we ended up building like these he had opened up a cigar shop in Florida.
Yeah.
And we built like all this stuff for him. So it just only, the relationship only continued, and we've gotten further and further into this cigar thing because of that. Exactly.
Yeah.
We should go smoke a cigar after this.
Yeah.
Listen, man, it's a good time.
Yeah. I see you guys go to 8 a lot.
We go to 8. You know what's really hard for me is I have a really good connection on cigars, Robert, which we'll talk about this off air because I can't give away my connection, but you go into these places and you're paying my thing is Arturo Fuente Opus X, and the cigar connoisseurs out there, they know. I mean, even you when I say that, you can spend a great deal of money on some Opus X. I'm going to tell you that. I just went and how much did I spend on that box?
It was a lot. We shouldn't say the number.
I'm not going to
say
say
it,
it, but
say it.
So I went and I got these 22. It's only 22 select cigars. I think I dropped like $2,100. So that's, for most people, that's, it's not to flaunt or anything, but I'm that serious about it. Like I really do love cigars.
Oh yeah.
People think that like, oh, he just smokes cigars. Like, no, I'm like really serious about it. And
it's $100 stick, which
yeah, it's something. And I've never even looked at them. I just know that they're in there. The box is sealed and it's in my humidor, and I'm like so stoked about it. But going back to it is I remember John mentioning that, and little things like that, like cigars, they start these relationships because you're like, you know what that's like. It's like a whiskey. If someone were to, drink a whiskey and they were like, oh, or wine or, one of those things. And it kind of just turned in from, one thing to another, but it's created so many great relationships for us on the golf course.
Insane.
And,
Insane.
Little things like that.
My next investment is a Rolex.
Yeah, man.
Another amazing conversation piece.
Yeah.
you're never gonna see Jeff wears his. He's got them. You
Yeah.
don't wear them though.
No, I have a hard time with stuff like that, I guess, because I don't know. It's nice.
Well,
like,
create
I like
a
to know that I
connection,
have
and
it.
people will see it, maybe possibly admire you. Give you some type of.
Oh, dude! Whenever I go out, I'm always looking at people's watches.
Yeah, it's a thing, right? But we try and step back from like that whole okay, does this guy have money or does this guy have money type deal?
That's
it's not
a really
about
big question, though, right? Because a lot of people, anybody can fork out their credit card, say this and that. Like, I want to know, do you really have money? Kind of thing. Like, are you really doing this, or are you just like anybody can go and buy, a Louis bag for their wife or just whatever it is? That's not hard. What's hard is just really creating some serious,
It's relationships, though.
Yeah.
It's not
It always goes
it's
back
not
to that.
even. It's not always like. And I'm not saying that you guys are saying this, but I'm just saying it's not always like the money. It's the connections.
Yeah,
That
no,
lead
I can agree with you
to
100% there.
I feel that.
like those cigars have made me, dude. Some of the cigars I have are $400 plus a piece.
Yeah.
Each stick.
Get there.
Insane.
And I'm most certain of that. I've seen some crazy prices on some
like,
stuff.
but I didn't pay that, by the way.
It's okay if you did.
I did
It's
not.
all right if
I
you
did.
did.
No.
Listen, off and on the record, it's okay if you
Dude,
did. I would do the same
If
thing.
I paid
Fidel
$400
Castro
a
cigars.
cigar, I'd be flexing. Like, yo, I paid fucking $7,000 for this
I don't know
box
how
of
many you would
cigars.
smoke, but
But dude, the relationships that I have made through just solely Brad Lee. You guys know who Brad Lee is?
Yeah.
Ed Milet. I mean, I gave Ed Milet some cigars. It's like just crazy shit.
So funny story about money, right? Because I think that's one of the biggest things that Jeff and I always like go back and forth about with people is like, fuck that guy, he ain't got no money. You know, we do that.
Does he really?
You know, it's funny because we know what it takes and we know what it looks like to make a couple $1 million. We've been there multiple times. We know. And it's funny because little backstory, right? So a couple years ago, Robert Eisenstadt came to me and said, "Hey man, you got American Express?" I'm like, "No, I don't need a fucking American Express. We because still to this day, cabinet sellers, National Stone, we don't have debt, 100% debt free.
We own everything outright.
Everything outright. We don't have debt. We don't carry debt." You came to me a couple of years ago, now at least 2 years, and you're like, "Hey, you know, American Express, whatever." You sent me a link. I'm like, I don't need that. You're like, "Well, how much do you spend a month?" A couple $100,000 a month. A couple $100,000 we spend every single month, cash out, right? Never used a credit card because we don't need it. We never have. We've always had money before we even started our business. We combined money and really hit it.
Right.
Now, obviously, our American Express, you know, it's paid off every single month.
Well, it's not
right?
a credit card. It's a charge card.
It's a charge card, right? So
This thing, man.
it's so funny because now we laugh about it because it doesn't make a difference because no matter what, we spend $100 grand, $200 grand, $300 grand. Well, it's got to be paid off at the end of the month, no matter what. It's only really beneficial. So thank you, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Because we get a lot of free shit.
Hell yeah.
We do. We get, especially with the volumes that we spend money on, we get a lot of free shit. So it's cool. It's great.
It's fantastic. We went golfing at the Wynn. How many weekends ago? A couple weekends ago. That's a whole different thing. But
It's free, by the way.
points.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys paid for it with
I mean,
points?
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we're talking a $3,000. It took us $4 grand and $3,000 in 4 hours we spent, right? Between our caddy, the round, the drinks, the just everything, right? The food on
And it
demand,
feels
by
so
the
good.
way.
It feels so good when it's a business expense in that sense, right? Because there's points. You honestly, you've acquired it, so
Yeah.
you might as well.
Dude, I went to Hawaii for free.
See, it's, you know exactly what we're talking about.
On you know, business endeavors last year, we spent around 20 to 30 grand golfing. Because typically
Fuck.
we always have 2 people with us
And we
on top of Jeff.
We got to take the boys out.
We always about business, Mr. Taxman. 20 to 30 grand last year just on golfing alone, and it was all paid for. By the way, thank you through
Yeah.
American Express. We didn't pay
bro.
a fucking dollar of it.
Yeah, so we should be thanking you.
Yeah.
Even though
You should probably be thanking
free.
me with a round of golf.
yeah, I got you.
Our next, we're gonna go to what's that? Rio Seco.
Rio Seco.
Oh,
Been to Rio Seco?
I have not.
Really great course. You're going with us.
You get the golf, I'll get the cigars.
All right,
Oh,
game.
yeah,
We're in, man.
100%.
I love it. I love it.
I don't know, man. We to tag back. We always laugh and joke about people and money and this and that, you know. And there's a lot of people out there that are they're doing it and they're trying. And we give 150% to everybody who's out there really trying. But we know a lot of people out there that just they flex too hard on trying too hard, and that's like touching base on the Rolex thing. It's like I know Jeff's had his for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
And it's a nice one, and he never wears it, you know. And I'm sure it could get you a lot of connections. And
But at the same time, I understand what exactly it is that you're saying. I guess me and him, I don't know. I try not to be that guy. I think, you know, you hear us and we say, oh, we're so driven about money and this and that. And we are. I mean, we're in business to make money.
Absolutely.
But we're in business to work for ourselves. And it goes back to, you know, what we talked about early on in the conversation is freedom.
Yeah.
That's more important to me, to be able to spend time with my family and to, you know, not have to worry about this and that. That's the most important thing. Like the Rolex is awesome, you know, cigars are awesome, all those things are awesome. But if you don't have, you know, the staple, like your home and everything together, it doesn't matter.
At the end of the day, it's just shit.
I mean,
It's all materialistic
it's
shit.
irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
that Apple Watch you got on, my personal opinion, will do you more good than that Rolex.
Bro,
would.
look at this. I wear this thing. Dude,
That's what I'm saying.
Look how bad this is.
that
How many apps does that Rolex have? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, how many uses that?
Well, it's
that right there.
it's an investment.
Yeah, no, 100%.
The Rolex,
I feel you.
for me, it's an investment. They're going up in value,
Yeah.
right? And if, like, I met a guy at one of these events, because that's where this is all started. You asked me how they were.
Yeah.
I met a guy that buys and sells high-end watches, He makes a fucking killing.
I'm sure he fucking does,
So
dude.
you've met those kinds of people. We have yet to meet someone like that in that sense. So that's why you have that outlook on it. And I see it. I know that it's there.
I got to get you guys out to one of these events.
I'm
Dude,
really,
it would change. Yeah. Ugh.
we're open to it in that sense. I think him and I are really at a point to where we feel like we've I don't want to say peaked, but there's a plateau that we've hit in the sense of like our network has done so much for us, and it will continue to do so much for us. But in order to get to that next level, it's right. It's like taking your business from $3 to $5 million a year to $10 million a year is a very different ball game, and you have to know different people, and you have to be interacting with different people.
Yep.
And I see you doing that, and I give you all the respect in the world. I love that. That's honestly that's the main driving factor of you invited us on here. I love that, dude. I'm all about people that just go all for it because you're only gonna get one shot at this, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know if you've seen him on social media. I'm sure you have. Dylan Georgian.
Oh yeah,
Right? DG Unlimited.
No, I was
right?
talking to him. I think he's coming on here too.
Oh, that'd be awesome. So
Yeah.
we did Dylan.
See?
Yeah. So we did Dylan's house. I'm not going to say where, but we did one of Dylan's houses here, and we've sold some of Dylan's product, and he has such an amazing foundation and outlook in the way he does things and on the scale he does them. I look at Dylan, right, and we do great. Don't get me wrong. Like, we really do. We crush it. We do great. He's like King Dingling when it comes to his realm. He really is.
Man.
He does not fuck around.
If you're in that business, you know who he is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you're in even just landscaping in general, you know his company. More than likely, you've bought his product, whether you like it or not.
Whether you know it or not.
You've bought it, and that's where he really crushes it. He takes a simple product. These are the 6 options you get. What do you want? Right? And he's distributing it everywhere. And the way I've seen him change lanes and motions, because his sales guys will come over, regroup with us, because we have displays, obviously, countertops, exterior, tile, all those things go hand in hand. So we have turf displays of his company at our showroom. And he's the staple of his industry, and it's so admiring. It really is. Like, he's one of the guys that really does it, and he flexes, but to an extent, right?
I don't ever feel like he was. I never once got the impression that he was like cocky.
No, he's really not. He's such a cool dude in person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I ran into him at Sand Show, and we had like a 30-45 minute conversation. It was insane. He's our age, right?
Yeah, he is. He's super down to earth too, man. And he's not like, he's the type of person you would look at and you'd be like, your company does a couple $100 million a year in revenue? What? That's a whole different game. We're millions. You're hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
It's different fucking
And
ballpark.
I mean, I love my life.
Yeah.
He loves his life. We live a good life. That's not to gloat or anything like that. I'm happy. I love my life. It's being very, appreciative of what we have. But you see people who have scaled it based on their network, right?
Yeah.
And the network is what takes you from here to there. It goes back to. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Dylan's following on social media, realistically, he does not have a big following. He doesn't, right? He's got a great outreach. I love what he's doing with his podcast. I watch every episode, 100%.
The Do Good movement.
Do good movement, man. I preach it myself. And him personally does not have this massive following. It's not about the quantity to him. It's about the quality.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. It's if he has enough money, he could pump and be famous instantly if he really wanted to. It's not what he's trying to do. That's purposeful to me. It really is.
You know what's crazy? I have no fucking idea what I am trying to do with it. Like, it's not like I'm not like, this isn't me like trying to get famous or anything. Like, this is just super enjoyable to me.
Well, you said it earlier, man.
I'm trying to help
You've
people.
got a story to tell.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need is just a story to tell.
Yeah.
To share.
I want to, the reason that I brought you guys on here and the reason that I brought, my previous guests on here is we've all been through similar shit.
Yeah.
And, the other people that are on the other side of the screen right now have probably been through a lot of the same instances that we have been through.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the problem is a lot of people just don't talk about it.
I don't think they're necessary. You've created, and that's what you've done, is you've created a platform to allow people to do so.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, man. I mean, there's like, if you ever follow Eric Thomas I'm big on motivational speakers.
Oh, yeah,
right?
dude.
Every day. Eric Thomas talks about how, you work on yourself. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry. Just go with purpose and work on yourself every day and do it with intent. Be intentional and be deliberate. And I preach that to my entire family. Whatever it is that you're doing, it doesn't matter. Just be intentional and very deliberate about it and just progress forward. Yes, the money's important, but it's not as important as what you're doing by developing yourself and doing what you love.
Yeah.
That's really, really that's why this thing is turning into what it is. I mean, we see you asked us, if we watch the podcast. Of course you watch the podcast. You know what I mean? Like it means something to us to come on to here, number one, and for you to invite us. But you're doing something, whether you see it or not. You seek advice or you seek approval from your friends. I myself have learned firsthand, you yourself have learned firsthand, and he's learned, firsthand that your friends 9 times out of 10 aren't even going to be your biggest supporters. It's complete strangers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the hard part is you're these people that go out and they seek for likes or they seek for, this attention and all this stuff. Like, just keep posting and keep getting after it.
A client will become a friend a lot sooner than a friend will become a client.
Always.
Crazy how that fucking works.
Yeah. And you don't realize it until you are actually like you're doing it, right? Most people don't see that. They're, if you're working a 9 to 5 or whatever, but when you own a business or you're starting an endeavor just from scratch, and these people that are just complete strangers end up making more of an impact on your life and, helping you and giving you a helping hand more than any of your so-called friends do, right?
Yep.
It's a big thing.
All your friends want deals, though.
Oh, man. You want deals. We've lost a tremendous, I know that you have, we've lost a tremendous amount of friends because of owning a business, and it sucks. But I've told Aaron since day one, and this is my strongest belief, is that if we're going to lose a friend over $500, I'd rather it be $500 than $5 million. You know what I mean? Like, if that's all it takes, okay, $500, you want to, get upset with me and say, oh, well, you did this and you screwed me over or so on. Okay, here's your $500 or here's your free cabinet or I'll fix this for you or do whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a cheap way to get rid of a problem.
Exactly. If it's $500 or
If
whatever,
it's about,
then
if it's about money, okay. See ya.
if you take, you see the true colors of people when, even if it's your friend, okay, let's say something goes wrong. Like, we're in the construction industry, man. Things are going to go wrong.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're going to get really sour to me as a friend, as a person, you're going to text me and call me in the middle of the night because you're upset about your house or something and you're really sour to me about it. Okay. What is it that you need me to do? Because I'm going to get it done and I'm going to do it the right way. And then I'm out and we ain't friends after that. And I'm cool with that. I'm more than okay with that. And it's limited to where, it's just, it's us and maybe a handful of people that hang out, you know what I mean? And that's really what it is with our friendships and stuff. They're very simple. We don't make them complicated. They're very simple. Let's hang out.
We don't have very many friends, though. Either.
No.
Dude, I got 3 friends now.
Because doesn't it make life simple though?
Oh my God, there's no drama.
You don't have to call nobody. Nobody's coming.
Dude, those
over.
3 friends. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just like a practice of mine or whatever, but those 3 friends I talk to every single day. I make it a very important part of my life to check on those 3 people every single day.
Yeah.
Because that's my family.
Absolutely.
I trust those people with my fucking life. I talk to them every single day. I want to know how you're doing, how your kids are doing, how your day is going. And if it's going to shit, I want to help you get it better. Like, period.
Yeah.
And that's you being a good person. And I think that not only a good person, but if you can project that and be that person to those people, I know that they would do the same for you. And that's where real relationships are developed, right?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, like me and John, dude. He
speaks very highly of you, by the way. He has nothing but, and honestly, anytime we had mentioned you and we were asking about you when he had come down to the shop, and he's really stoked for you, which is really an awesome thing. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, we would bury a body for each other. That's just how it is though. Like, and we did have a super bad falling out, and it came from business. Yeah. It came from me doing some work for him and him doing some work for me.
Yeah.
And we were trading off. I think
trade deals the worst.
It was a bad situation, but the relationship came out way stronger out of it because we came to an agreement, we understood, and now it's always been amazing no matter what.
That's even with Jeff and I. I mean, our most succeeding moments every single time is when we can get in an argument about something, hash it out, and move on, because we just took one more step on the ladder right there.
Yeah.
One more every single time.
As dramatic as it may be sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's become less and less. I mean, early on in the stages of our business, I remember him and I were constantly constantly fighting about something or this and that. And it's gotten to where, I mean, honestly, like that's our day is a very simple day. You know, we know each other.
How did you guys get, like, because you guys know I own part of an air conditioning business now.
Which I've
Right?
used. Yep.
Yep.
One of your first supporters, by the way.
That's a huge
know.
endeavor, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Huge.
So, you know, I was nervous. My business partner's awesome. Amazingly smart guy. But I was nervous about jumping into this because I've had a business partner before in Property Pros that I had to buy out, which, yeah, it's my ex, but it was a scary situation
That's
you know
a
what I mean?
particular situation.
Yeah, no, I know. And you know what? We have she's the mother of my child. We have an amazing relationship now. Right. Everything's good, but it was a really messy situation because we were partnered in the business.
Right.
So that was scary. So, like, I mean,
if you take money out of the equation, which I don't think Jeff and we don't value money more, right? And that's equal. I at least I believe on both sides. Neither of us value the dollar more than each other, right? If you take the money out of the equation and it's not about the money, then you're good. Because I'm the least selfish person. Jeff's the least selfish person, right, I've ever met. It's not about the money. It's about where we're going and how we're going to get there.
Yeah. You guys believe in each other's vision.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck about the money.
We talk about it all the time. Like, you know, I'm like, Aaron, you know, where is it that we want to go? Like, what do you see? I'm a very, like, close your eyes, tell me what you see kind of thing. And it's changed so many times. But, you know, one thing that's certain is we know, you know, collectively that our plan is, you know, to accomplish the same things and end up in the same place. It may look a little different, but we want to get there.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, like even let's say Jeff and Aaron were to say screw cabinet sellers, right? Fuck it. We're doing it live. We're going to go do something else, okay? We're still doing something else together, more than likely, because we found that, because him and I have both about it. Like you were just saying, we've had bad experiences with other people. Sometimes it's just finding someone that you can really connect with and get it, right? I'm imagining this new AC company, Heavenly AC, hit them up if you need something, is with someone you've known previously?
Oh, yeah. I've known him for a long time. And he's an amazing dude. I mean,
as a friend.
Yeah. We were friends first.
See how that works,
No,
man?
I've known him for a while time. And our relationship's definitely gotten better. And it was nothing ever against him about being nervous. It was just being nervous about partnering in a business in general.
Somebody. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because oftentimes people have different views. Period.
99%.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's like overcoming those struggles that people are going to run into, because they're going to run into those problems. You guys run into those problems. Yeah. So I guess like the real question I was asking, if you guys were to give somebody advice about that they wanted to start a business with a partner, what would that piece of advice be?
Like I said, man, me personally, take money out of the equation. I want to reference Dylan one more time, right? Take money out of the equation and don't worry about the dollar. Worry about where you're going and how you're going to get there, because the money will come 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of references back to what we talked about early on in the conversation. And my thing is, you know, we're friends first, and, you know, we have a genuine love for one another as people first. Whether we make $1 million in the day or we don't make a single dollar and we lose money in the day, I can sit here and I can give him a hug and I can say, hey man, like I'll see you tonight, and you know, we'll be there. And that's just how it's always going to be. Yeah. That's our advice is pretty similar in that sense. It's about, you know, people and the experiences and trusting one another and doing those foundational things that, you know, people seem to forget before you start talking about business and money and all these things. Take those out and just focus solely on trusting and, you know, having a genuine love and a trust for one another.
Yeah.
Damn. Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Well, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming on. I actually got a bunch of nuggets from this, so thank you very much.
Oh, man, we appreciate you.
If you guys ever need any custom cabinets, closets, countertops, period, these are the guys to go to. Cabinet Sellers. Where can they find you guys at? You guys got a website? What's website?
So cabinetsellers.com. Jeff,
you'll find us all over social media.
We're all over
just
social media.
Look up Cabinet Sellers. We talk about our bad reviews. We talk about everything under the sun. We do the funny video stuff. Just look out for us.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. Make sure you guys check these guys out. And, yeah, we'll see you next time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share the show.
Don't forget it.
Yeah, don't fuck up.
Check it out. Check it out.
All right,
Thanks.
let's go.